Hey, Chicago Bears fans, I promise you, we don't care about you. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Full Command Show. My name is Grant Mitchell, and we're here to talk about those slobbery, snobbing Chicago Bears fans who can't handle that they messed up having the first pick in the draft, and the Washington Commanders got to select Jayden Daniels, and the Washington Commanders were forever memorialized in history with the Hail Mary last season. Guys, we are going to talk about what is going on. Why are Bears fans talking so reckless and crazy? Why are they acting like this is the heavyweight showdown of the world? Why are they so locked in to this one game on their schedule when there's still several months of football to be played? We got to talk about all that. We also got a couple of updates from DQ on injuries. Is Terry McLaurin in? Is he out on Monday? I will let you know what he said. And then also we got some big news from Mr. Bill Croskey-Merritt, who's probably going to win the Pepsi Offensive Rookie of the Week award or Rookie of the Week, whatever, because that's what we do here in Washington. But we are going to get to all of that in just a second, guys. Before we do, make sure you hit the like button if you are enjoying the content here. I'm a little sick right now, so if you heard in my voice, I'm sorry. I'm trying to brave through it, really brave through it, like I'm doing something noble by sitting in my office recording the video. But it is a little bit painful, but you guys deserve the content, and really the Bears fans deserve a response for some of the stuff that they are putting out there. So let me start with the updates really quick, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. So, Mr. Bill Croskey-Merritt, what a ride for this guy. He just signed, it was announced on Instagram, Bill has signed a deal with Nike. The Nike, the swoosh, the just do it, the jump man. Like, I know Jordan's got his own brand, but man, I mean, for Bill to have been this, I say it like every video now, 0-star high school recruit, 4 years at Alabama State, New Mexico, ruled ineligible, 7th round pick. It only took him 5 weeks of an NFL career to land a deal with Nike. Why did I say Mikey? With Nike. And I got to say, Bill did all this by himself, right? But the fan base has just gravitated towards Bill, A, because of the way he's produced, B, because of just the humility, and C, because of his personality. All that's played into it. But the way the fan base has rallied around him, the fan base has absolutely been a major part of this happening. Nike doesn't really care about who is the best. They care about who's going to drive numbers, who is good for the brand, who's going to get eyes, who's going to get sales, who's going to get buzz. And the fan base has played a part in that. So give yourself a round of applause. And again, not that we deserve credit. I'm not trying to make this sound selfish. Bill did all of this for himself, but it's just a nice feel-good story, I guess is what I'm trying to say here, because we haven't had a lot of those in Washington over recent years. We got a really nice taste of it with Jayden last year, and now Bill looks like he could be an elite running back. We got him in the 7th round, so congratulations to Mr. Bill Croskey-Merritt. Real quick updates from Dan Quinn. He said that Terry McLaurin is not practicing on Wednesday afternoon, which is today as I am recording this. They will see if he's able to make it back for the Bears game on Monday night, thanks to the extra day of rest and practice. Noah Brown is at practice today, so that seems to indicate he will be back for Monday's game. And then Sam Cosmi was a full participant in 2 practices last week, did not fly to LA so he could continue working out and getting ready to make his return. He has 2 weeks to be activated off of the PUP list because they opened the window to activate him. You get 3 weeks and you do that. Obviously, they didn't activate him last week, so whether or not he's playing on Monday, I would still assume he's not going to be playing Monday, but I think week 7, probably looking like when that's going to happen. But DQ said he got those 2 practices last week. He's going to get the full week. He'll be a full participant this entire week as long as nothing flares up. He's going to get some work with the first team offense and also the scout team, try to get his technique right, try to get his feet back under him, and then hopefully get back out on the field pretty soon. Okay, so the updates, the new stuff, it's all out of the way. Let's talk about this Bears game. So first thing, what's at stake for the Commanders here? Well, losing to the Bears is not the end of the world. That's what I'll say. Losing to the Bears is not the end of the world, but teams that start 3-3 only make the playoffs about 1/3 of the time, 33.2%. Teams that start 4-2 make the playoffs about 60% of the time. And over the last 5 seasons, they have made it 74% of the time. So again, not the end of the world if you lose, but history shows pretty big difference on how likely you are to make the playoffs if you win this game and get to 4-2, or if you lose it and you drop to 3-3. This is also a big deal because the Commanders have already lost tiebreakers to the Falcons. This is what happens when I'm sick. This is what happens. My brain gets all scrambled. They've already lost the tiebreaker to the Packers and to the Falcons, okay? So if you lose it to the Bears, who in their minds are in the hunt for the playoffs, for the wild card, we'll see if that actually plays out. But with a win here, they would move to 3-2. They would have the tiebreaker. Falcons would have the tiebreaker. Packers would have the tiebreaker. And you got the Seahawks coming up pretty soon. So, in fact, is that the next game on the schedule? I don't actually know. But they're coming up pretty soon. And that's a team that's also 3-2 and is also in the hunt to make the wild card. And if you lose, would have the tiebreaker over you. So what's the best way to get around not having the tiebreaker? Just win the games. Don't finish the season with the same record as them. Get ahead of it and have a better record. So speaking of the Bears here, I have seen, you guys remember a video I made where I called out some of the Giants fans and reporters and staff and all this stuff for just the nonsense they were saying. Like, what was his name? Sheldon Day Roberts was going to be unlocked at 32 years old, and he was going to dominate the Commanders' offensive line. And the secondary, Paulson Adebo and Deonte Banks were better than the Commanders, and just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. You remember that video I made, right? As I'm just looking around, surfing the web, to sound a little older, age myself a little bit, surfing the web, looking at tweets, looking at videos, listening to podcasts, the way that Bears fans talk, they think this is the biggest game of the year. And for them, maybe it is. This has a real Georgia and Georgia Tech feeling to it. Or I'm from Virginia. I'm a Hokie. So it has a real Virginia Tech versus UVA feel to it. One team, this is their entire year. Who cares what else happens as long as we win this one game? Whereas the other team, it's like, yeah, that's another game on the schedule, I guess. We got to be ready to play football, but do I define the season by this? No, of course not. After this, we still got 12 more weeks of the season to get to. You listen to the way Bears talk. They think they're playing for the Rookie of the Year trophy. They think they're playing for a playoff ticket. They think they are playing for the Super Bowl. I'm confused. Bears fans. You guys hold so much resentment toward Jayden Daniels like he did something wrong. Why are you misplacing your frustration? Because clearly you want Jayden Daniels on your team. Clearly you guys all have a little bit of a man crush on him. Or if you're a woman, maybe you're just a crush then. Why is your anger not directed towards your general manager? Ryan Poles essentially refused to even speak to any other quarterback. He said, Caleb's the guy. Lock it in. Not going to do my due diligence. Not going to talk to anybody else. Not going to do background checks. Not going to work out nothing. Caleb Williams is the guy. Why are you upset at Jayden Daniels for that decision? Have you forgotten you had the first pick in the draft? If Jayden Daniels was going to be this player, you guys could have drafted him. Or if Caleb's better than Jayden, then why are you so hell-bent on saying that he's not? What you should just know, you should just have the confidence to say, no, I know Caleb Williams is clearly better. I watch him play every Sunday. Of course he's better than Jayden Daniels. I don't need to get into that. Why do you take your pick? Either Jayden is better and you're angry at your front office, or Jayden's not better and you're content with what you have. Why are you projecting your insecurity onto Commanders fans? And this is what I'll say. The Bears could win this game. Okay. I'm not going to disrespect them and say they're a 0-win team picking first in the draft. I think the Commanders are better. Yes. It's the NFL. Upsets happen. But the Bears could win this game. That's not reason for me to turn my back on my quarterback and either say, wow, I wish we took Caleb Williams, or if we lose, for me to go, well, you know what? Jayden Daniels is still better because he did this and he did this. But since we brought up the numbers, because you Bears fans, you guys are tricky. You guys like to fudge the numbers a little bit. Get your brush out, Photoshop some things, make them look all cool. Here are the facts. Jayden Daniels versus Caleb Williams. Jayden Daniels has a better record, a higher completion percentage, higher yards per attempt. Caleb has him in passing yards per game by 1, but Jayden has him in total yards per game by 22. Jayden has a higher passer rating, more passing touchdowns in fewer games, by the way. Not bad for a running quarterback and a screen merchant, right? Okay, of course, don't forget the higher yards per attempt as well, because Caleb's checking that thing down. Jayden's got a higher EPA. He's got a higher success rate, a higher completion percentage over expected. He's got a Pro Bowl nomination. He's got a Rookie of the Year trophy. He has 2 playoff wins. He's been to the conference championship game. Caleb Williams, his biggest achievement is getting a coach fired that the fan base didn't like and going on a 10-game losing streak. Oh, and I guess he scored a couple of touchdowns on the Cowboys, who have the worst defense in the NFL. Round of applause. Because Caleb Williams' resume clearly proves definitively without a shadow of doubt. Yeah, he's better than Jayden Daniels. But for some reason, that's not good enough for Bears fans. They got to go out of their way, and they got to make sure that you know that. Okay. First pick in the draft as well. Don't forget. First pick in the draft should be better than the second pick in the draft, especially with the confidence that Ryan Poles had. That's all I'm going to say there. Now, I'm going to come out with my game preview later on this week, of course. But just a very quick note that I want to say. Caleb Williams does appear to be getting carried by Ben Johnson. How about that, Bears fans? Now, am I going to fault you for having a good offensive coordinator? No, of course not. A good offensive coordinator is going to lift up any quarterback, whether they're drafted in the first round, the fifth round, whether they're a rookie, whether they're a 10-year vet. Not saying Caleb shouldn't get any credit because his offensive coordinator got better. What I am saying is the Bears are the master of the hot start. They lead the entire NFL in first quarter scoring. The Commanders are only 26th. They're averaging 2.6 points in the first quarter. Quarters 2, 3, and 4, the Bears drop from first to 18th. The Commanders rise from 26th to 4th. So I'm just going to put this out there. Is it possible that Caleb only looks great when the drives are scripted and you know how everything's going to go exactly? You guys just, you think about that yourselves, okay? Forget I even said it, man. I would hate to ruffle any feathers. Just forget that I even said that. Caleb Williams so far this season, 27th. Actually, sorry, not so far this season. I believe this is for his entire career. He's 27th in EPA per play, 28th in success rate after the first quarter. In the first quarter, 13th in EPA per play, 25th in success rate. So again, the scripted drive stuff, it's awesome. Bears could get out to a 7-0, 10-0 head start. Hey, Commanders love going into 10-0, 14-0 holes, right? But what's going to happen from that point on, that is what is going to make the difference here. And historically, we've seen Jayden Daniels rise to the task. Let's see Caleb Williams do it because he is better. Caleb Williams is better than Jayden Daniels. Let's see him do it. Now, the Bears are coming here to win, okay? I can joke as much as I want. They're obviously coming to win. They're coming off of a bye week. They know that they should have won last year's game. The Commanders were better than the Bears in that game, but they did not take their opportunities. When you're up by, let's see, they would have been up 15-12 with however many seconds, 5-10 seconds left, whenever the ball snapped before the Hail Mary. When you're up at that point in the game and the other team has the ball at their own 40-yard line, 35-yard line, wherever they were, you're supposed to win that game even if you've been outplayed. So the Bears have a bad taste in their mouth. Ben Johnson has got a history with the Commanders. Let's not forget about this. The Commanders were flying to Detroit to interview him for their job, to maybe even offer the job to him. And he told them mid-flight to turn around and go back home. This was before Dan Quinn or anybody had been hired. This is obviously just Adam Peters up on the private jet. Lance Newmark might have been there with him and the pilot, obviously. And they get told, hey, by the way, not interested. You can just go back on home. So there's that history. You've got the Hail Mary from last year. And then Caleb I haven't listened to Caleb's interviews. I don't know what he's saying about it. I'm sure he's being asked about getting revenge for the loss. He's always going to be compared to Jayden Daniels and Drake May and Bo Nix and J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix Jr. for that matter. But he's always going to be compared to these guys. And Caleb, if we're looking at performance relative to expectations, Caleb has underperformed the most of any quarterback in that draft class. So he is coming in here to win the game. For the Commanders, Jayden Daniels can win you games. He doesn't have to win you this one. The Bears have the second worst run defense in the history of the NFL. I am not making that up. They are allowing 6.1 yards per carry. 6.1. The highest mark in NFL history was the Cincinnati Reds in 1934. I think it's 6.3. So since there's only one team going back to 1934 that's done a worse job than the Bears have so far this season. Meanwhile, the Commanders lead the NFL in rushing yards per game and yards per carry. Bill Croskey-Merritt leads the NFL in yards per carry. Just had 14 carries for 111 yards last week and 2 touchdowns. This is going to be built up to be the Jayden Caleb show. Put it in Bill's hands. He will win you the game. I'm going to go ahead and head on out here, guys. A little bit of a shorter video today. Like I said, I'm not feeling great. I'm a little under the weather, but just had to speak to the Bears fans because they just confuse me. They just confuse me. This is a regular old game, yet they've got it circled on their calendar. They're throwing darts at a Jayden Daniels bullseye. I don't know what's up with them. Jealousy, it looks ugly on you guys over there in your burnt orange and blue, but that's not a great look. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and head on out of here. As I always say, I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed. Hit the subscribe button if you're new around here. And I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.